Okay, I came back after reviewing the comment. I want to say thank you for your thoughts and really appreciate it. Um, I did have different thoughts and attitudes towards this matter in the past. I think I was much more radical and much more quote unquote racist in my past video in that destroyed channel when I talked about it. But right now I could look at it in a more objective angle because I do believe I've met a lot of good white males. Like they don't discriminate me, condescend me, or treat me unprofessionally. And I definitely, like I said previously, I definitely believe they do exist, but there are a couple bad apples. And I really wish the other white people could correct those bad apples because they degrade your image as a group in our circle. You can see that, right? Because this is how we view at this thing. And among Asians, those bad apple Asian girls unfortunately are majority. So I could not even grant them the name bad apple because it doesn't fit. Bad apples are usually minority, but in Asian girl group, this is usually the majority, unfortunately. And I just wish to emphasize this point. Um, when you meet somebody that is beautiful, Asian, in a professional occasion, you really need to respect her intelligence and her being as a human. If you can't even do that, and honestly, if you met me, and it is likely that I will look down on you really deeply from very first impression, and it is irreversible. It's irreversible. And if you're interested in somebody while at an event, even if it's professional, then it is okay to establish a relationship, a friendship, or just whatever relation you want at the start. But of course, like the condition is you're adults. You guys adults, like you can do that. The thing is you have to make it very clear that you're serious about pursuing this goal. And the Asian person, I mean the girl, should also be very, very conscious about being pursued rather than just being asked for sex. Because I am really against of this idea that you run into somebody at some random occasion and you immediately hook up with that person. I do think random hookups do sometimes happen, but that's really, really rare, especially if you just meet somebody, you heard about this person's thoughts and views, attitudes, you want to get to know this person even more instead of just, oh, I want to fuck this person. That does happen, but that requires mutual agreement. And unfortunately, again, the trend of Asian girls being quote unquote easy usually really comes from mainland China. I don't want to say it, but just because during 2020 I lived there, I know what the situation is, what kind of like girls there usually are, and like I'm not blaming them in my comment. It's just I'm still sort of radical in that. Like I'm upset, okay, even if I can I'm calm. It's also because I'm like I'm trying to become I'm treating myself right, because it's unhealthy to be mad, to be sad, and to be like, that's why like I try to stay calm. It's in back in 2020 when I had another channel, I was madly like I was madly upset. It's just like it's different situation now. Like all those people got their karma already. The Asians who just seduce white guys, or the white guys who creeped among Asians, have already got punished. And the new generation, like the Gen Zs, who's been to Asia or who have enjoyed some of their white privilege in Asia, started understanding how it is not what they imagined when they deal with Asian girls. So I would say this phenomenon, optimistically, is decreasing, is diminishing. So that's good. But like one of my methods of coping sexual harassment, like the commenter said, I really appreciate you brought this up because I do think that it is helpful to repeat my method again. This replication of satisfaction, because when you get sexually harassed, it's actually a very bad feeling. Why is there like a thumbs up? It's weird. It's a bad feeling because you were unwillingly committing something. You were forced to do something that you don't want. So for me, it's not the control of desire or whatsoever. I feel like my desires have been able to be satisfied most of the times. Yeah, of course there were times that like I couldn't get what I want. Internet wasn't working, my food hasn't arrived and stuff like that. Fine. But like I would say like I've never been like very poor or living on the street or couldn't travel to where I want, stuff like that. So like I'm very privileged, and I don't think like desire is like super problematic for me. My problem is permission, like decision and permission, like if or not I permit this person to touch me, if or not I permit this person to read my thought, if or not I permit this person to touch my phone. I mean, you're not allowed to do whatever you want to me unless I allow. So it's mutual, it's definitely mutual, and permission is greater than desire whatsoever. Like I'm not a very spontaneous person. Everything has to be approved. Everything has to be permitted by myself first. So if somebody makes friends with me or somebody has a relationship with me, this person has to, like approach me incrementally. Like, I do believe, this is just my belief. Also, this is what I do after being sexually harassed, because I think it's so important to set boundaries. And one of the key technique to set boundaries is to slow down, and you can't move without thinking. You have to think about whether or not to do this, whether or not to allow somebody to do this to you. So permission is one thing, and I seldom get sex because I don't permit people a lot on me, and I don't usually like people, and I have very high requirements. I am very picky, and I know that just getting harassed in New York is sort of common, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just common. And then like recovering from sexual harassment and especially stalking, it's like psychological rape, especially digital stalking. They do it on your devices. They do not give you breasts 24/7. So it's much more different than you imagine. It's more subtle, and because it's subtle, it's traumatic. I'm still recovering. I just want more people to kind of be aware and support me and support each other in this problem and victimhood. We are all in this together. So I wish the white people that I described could be aware. I'm not saying hate speech. I didn't say that I hate you. I'm just saying this behavior is not appropriate. It's not allowed. It's not because these girls like from mainland China are disadvantaged, and it prompts you to use them, to exploit them, to sexually, like it's just like also like that, right? The sole thing, the sole objective of them getting in bed with you is because they want your visa. They want something from you anyway, and you took that as an advantage. But like eventually, do you want marriage with them? Do you want to have kids with them? Do you want a relationship with them? No. Then what are you doing? And also like in terms of this cultural curiosity, why don't you just read and talk, have an open exchange with somebody? All of these methods also have their limits. So like I'm sort of a unique individual in terms of my grow up and thought procedure, but like my personal preference is everybody is an individual, everybody is different, and you have to have this basic concept of respect when you approach somebody, be it intimately or daily, normal life-wise, or professionally. You just have to give the amount of respect each individual deserves in that particular occasion. And then I hope that society will be better with this rule. Thank you.